friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie Yo 756. Tighten that neighborhood. My brothers and sisters. When I got home today, I was sleepy as freak, y'all. Long story short, short story long. So I went and took me a power nap, and now I'm ready to watch this newest video from this channel with y'all. And the channel that I'm talking about is Chilling Scares. Back to Chilling Scares, Bean Team. And the title of the video is 5 Most Disturbing Stealth Camping Encounters Caught on Camera. Now, I'm just gonna keep it real, Bean Team. I don't even really know what the freak of stealth camping is. You know what I'm saying? I don't even really know what the freak that means, but it's coming from Chilling Scares, and I'm pretty sure we about to have some what the is going on type of moments. But before we have those moments, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need, please. We are back to Chilling Scares on a good Thursday. Y'all got what y'all need, y'all ready to go? Then let's go.
Ian on YouTube is a channel run by 30-year-old Ian who's been posting on the platform for the better part of a decade. His content covers everything from day in the life work vlogs to different adventures after hours. And while most of it is nothing more than fun, one particular encounter left him shaken to his core. On January 18th, 2024, Ian posted a video going over the disturbing experience he had while stealth camping in a McDonald's parking lot in Palm Springs, California. Stealth camping, for those who don't know, is when someone spends the night in a vehicle or tent in an area not officially designated for camping, usually while trying to avoid detection. It's often done out of necessity, curiosity, or simply for the thrill of it. And while it can be harmless, it also means the camper is completely exposed and vulnerable to whatever or whoever might be lurking nearby. This is exactly what happened with Ian on the 16th of January 2024. He'd been stealth camping for quite some time by that point, and had spent nights in much harsher conditions, like during heavy rain or in a sandstorm. So staying overnight in a McDonald's parking lot seemed like nothing to him. Unfortunately, he couldn't have been more wrong. After setting everything up, he went to lie down in the back of his car. But just as he was about to fall asleep, he was interrupted by the sound of someone repeatedly trying to open his car's door. He immediately got up to see who it was, and this is what he came across.
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up? What's up, man? What's going on? What are you doing?
There was a man standing outside the passenger door. What made the encounter even more unsettling was that the man never said a word, even as Ian repeatedly called out to him, trying to get some kind of explanation for what he was doing.
Exactly, that's the most craziest part, y'all. The fact that he ain't said nothing to do, like, what's up, man, what you want? And apparently you want something. You was just pulling on my freaking car door trying to open it. Thank God the dude had his doors locked. And also, Bean Team, I got my inside. We now, or I know, I don't know if y'all already knew. Now I know what stealth camping is. And it can get dangerous, as we see right now. What the freak do this dude want? Let's find out.
Hey, bro. What's up? What you doing, man? Ain't weird, bro.
Despite his panic, however, he made the wise decision to stay locked within his car and quickly drive to a more hidden spot in the lot. But that wasn't enough. because just a few minutes later, Ian spotted the same man walking around the parking lot, possibly trying to locate his car. Fearing for his safety, he drove to a completely different location and managed to sleep through the rest of the night without any incident. Still, the question remained, who was this man and what exactly was he trying to do? Ian never made a follow-up or shared any more info regarding the encounter in the video's description, so we can only speculate on what happened that night. Now, it's entirely possible that he was just a harmless, mentally ill person who wasn't fully conscious of what he was doing. This could explain why he didn't answer when Ian called out to him and just calmly walked away without a word. However, a far more likely explanation is that the act of trying to break into Ian's car was completely intentional, and when he was caught, he just acted confused and harmless to seem less threatening. Perhaps he really thought the car was empty and was trying to steal it. Or maybe he knew Ian was inside and had intentions to rob him or something far more sinister. His strange behavior also suggested that he might have been under the influence of some kind of drugs, which would have made him even more unstable and by extension more dangerous. Fortunately, Ian managed to drive away unscathed before he could find out the man's true intentions.
Well, at least Ian got away, Bean Team, but I don't know what the freak that man's intentions was. Like, I believe if you want to believe that he didn't know Ian was in the car and he was just trying to steal the car, then okay, you know what I'm saying? That's a good theory. But also, if you want to believe that he knew Ian was in the car and for some reason was trying to break in and do God's know what, that's a good theory too. Like, I don't know if this a homeless dude just walking around the freaking parking lot. He never said anything. The fact that he never said anything, and also I'm just tripping off that he was just automatically trying to open the door handle. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he was knocking on the window of the car or nothing. No, he literally just walked up and tried to get in. You get what I'm saying? That really throws me off. It's a weird one, Bean Team. We already done had a what the is going on type of moment. Let's keep going.
On February 11th, 2024, stealth camping YouTuber Brendan Explores posted a video of him spending a night in the small village of Jaywick, England. The thing about Jaywick, however, is that it's been named as the most deprived town in all of England. The combination of high unemployment and poor living conditions has pushed many of its residents toward a life of crime. Brendan, however, wanted to see the village firsthand to decide whether it was truly as bad as the media made it out to be. His first impressions of the place were quite good, with him admiring the natural landscape surrounding the village. What he didn't realize at the time was that this lighthearted escape to the countryside would soon spiral into complete disaster. It began with him driving through the town and searching for a discreet spot to park his van so he could settle in before it got dark. He eventually found a parking lot that looked promising and decided to make it his home for the night. But it didn't take long for him to start noticing a series of red flags in the area, like people riding around with gangster rap blaring from a speaker, and a group of street racers speeding down the road right in front of the parking lot. As the evening approached, he was also left alone in the parking lot, making him a prime target for any would-be robber. So, after thinking about it for a few minutes, he thought it would be best to leave the parking lot and find a more secluded spot for camping. He eventually went down a dirt trail and parked in the middle of nowhere, without any houses or major roads nearby.
Man, I think you just moved to a worse location. You know what I'm saying? At least it looked like you was in the city lights. Now you gone down a freaking dark ass road with no street lights for nobody to see if somebody attack you. I don't know, Bean Team. This stealth camping is freaking crazy to me. Let's go.
This turned out to be the worst decision Brendan could have made in that situation. Because at around 2:30 a.m., about 4 hours after he went to sleep, he was woken up by the sound of someone walking around his van.
I think someone's outside the van. +2.
This person then tried to open the van's sliding door.
Someone just tried the door.
But before Brendan even had a chance to fully understand his predicament, this happened.
Oh!
Whoever this person was shattered the passenger side window before running away once Brendan started shouting. In the video's description, Brendan speculated that this person was likely trying to steal the mini refrigerator he had on the passenger seat. While this might not be entirely accurate, there's still some truth behind it. Judging by the fact that the intruder fled the moment they heard Brendan, it's likely they were simply looking to steal something, nothing more. As for how they managed to find his van in the middle of nowhere, it's entirely possible that they stalked him from when he was in town. However, given these circumstances, the situation could have turned out a lot worse. As one comment under the video pointed out, when you said you had found the perfect quiet spot after driving away from town down a quiet pitch-black lane in the middle of nowhere with nobody else around for miles, at that point I was absolutely terrified. How on earth you managed to go to sleep to begin with amazes me. A few blokes with their hoods pulled down and armed, and you wouldn't have stood a chance. While nothing truly tragic occurred, the experience was terrifying enough to rattle Brendan. Instead of staying the night, he drove through the darkness until daybreak just to make it back home, which was ultimately the right call. He's still making stealth camping videos, but now he's far more cautious about where he parks, especially when it comes to remote or isolated spots.
Hey, whoever left that YouTube comment, I can't agree with them anymore. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, they was right on point with that freaking comment, y'all. And I do think in that one, like, I'm for sure, compared to the first one, I'm almost sure that whoever broke his glass window, I don't think they knew he was in there. They was just trying to break in and steal some ish. That's what I think on that one, because as soon as he said, hey, they took off freaking running. But it's just crazy that he thought that that spot was better than the first spot. Let's keep going, Bean Team. Good video.
In March of 2025, a camping YouTuber named Daniel Mark Brown planned a stealth camping trip in the woodlands surrounding Oswestry, England. His plan was simple: travel alongside one of the many hiking trails in the area and then go off-trail to find a good stealth spot. And this worked better than he expected, finding the perfectly hidden camping area in no time. After setting down his supplies, Daniel went to the nearby river to cook a meal before heading back to the spot he'd found earlier. By the time he came back, it was already starting to get dark and the trail was starting to empty out, giving Daniel the peace of mind to wind down and call it a night. However, what happened next made him realize the true danger he was in. After laying out his sleeping bag, settling down, and finally falling asleep, 90 minutes had passed when he was suddenly jolted awake.
100% being spotted. Right, I'm trying to keep calm and keeping calm. I'm almost too scared to breathe here. I think a dog or something just came in.
Daniel was woken up by the cracking of branches, followed by the light from a flashlight. He eventually found the courage to unzip his sleeping bag to see who was out there.
Oh, that's right. They're looking straight at me. I'm trying not to panic.
By this point, he couldn't think of anything else to do but call out to the person who was now aiming the flashlight at him. But instead of getting a reply of any kind, the person just turned around and disappeared into the woods, never to be seen again.
Hello?
They haven't been about, I haven't seen a single light now for maybe 5-10 minutes. I don't even know. I've been just trying to keep as calm as possible, but when they walked off and the light went out, I don't even know which direction they were, but somewhere in that direction. I'll forget it, let's just go.
Yes, let's go. I'm out of there, Bean Team. Ain't nowhere in the hell I'm gonna stay in the woods after I just seen somebody walking around with a flashlight. Then I hollered out at them and they didn't respond back. And he talking about, I think they somewhere over there in that direction. Man, they could be in any freaking direction around you, man. They could literally be walking up behind you right now. Get the F out of there. And one thing about this one, y'all, like this dude, he's living on the edge for real as far as like, he's not even in a tent. He's just literally sleeping on the ground in a sleeping bag in the middle of the freaking woods. That is crazy.
This experience startled him enough to quickly pack his stuff and hightail out of the wooded area. However, if the person with the flashlight had malicious intent, leaving the campsite wasn't going to be an easy task. The way they refused to respond to Daniel's hello was unsettling enough. But how they silently turned off their light and disappeared into the woods suggested they might have been hiding, waiting to ambush him to rob him, or possibly worse. That being said, it's entirely possible that the mysterious person was just someone walking their dog at night or something else completely innocent. As for why they didn't reply to Daniel, it's possible they were just as scared as he was after hearing a hello from the darkness of the woods. However, we also can't rule out the possibility that they were trying to sneak up on Daniel for some sinister reason, only turning around once they realized they'd been spotted. Whatever the case may be, Daniel made it out of the woods safely without encountering the same person again.
Now, I will say that that's a possibility, Bean Team. Maybe it was somebody walking their dog or somebody innocent, you know what I'm saying? And maybe Daniel spooked them by saying hello, because we see the light, but we can't believe that just because they flashing that light that they can actually see Daniel. They may have just been flashing the light in the woods and never seen him, and then just heard somebody say hello, and it spooked the F out of them. I don't know, man. See, that's why I never go in the woods, and if I do, y'all already know. I'll say it before, and I'll say it again. Y'all coming with me. Long story short, story long. I'm not going by myself, Bean Team. Some of y'all coming with me too.
Ellie and Graham are an elderly duo from the UK who travel around the country in their camper van while vlogging about their adventures on YouTube. In November of 2022, they were on one of their trips when they had to urgently travel back home due to an emergency. However, they were too far away to make it back in one day. After searching online, they found a stealth camping spot on the outskirts of a town called Altrincham. It was a fairly small car park, but the couple was in a hurry, so they didn't have any other choice but to camp there for the night, hoping to get back on the road the next morning. What they didn't expect, however, was that this would spiral into the most terrifying experience of their entire camping journey. By the time they got to this location, it was already dark out. They parked their van and settled in for the night, going to sleep at around 11 p.m. But then at 1 a.m., both of them woke up to the sound of loud music blaring from a car. However, the music stopped soon after, so they brushed it off and began settling back into their bed. That's when they both heard a disturbing bang coming from their own van. It was loud enough that they thought a tree had fallen onto their van. They quickly rushed outside to see what had happened, and this was the shocking sight they came across.
Just can't believe it. We've just been woken up with a loud bang, and you dropped something on the floor there. Or was that glass? 2 bricks. And someone's just smashed Merlin's windows while we're sleeping. So no, we don't recommend this as a place to stop. They smashed the windscreen, but Graham's hoping he can drive with that. But here's us in the middle of nowhere, with a broken window and a cracked windscreen, about 200 miles from home.
After some investigation, they found 3 bricks around the van, which was severely damaged. The windshield was cracked, the passenger side window was completely shattered, and the van had a massive dent behind the sliding door. More troubling than the physical damage to the van was the psychological impact on Ellie and Graham, who were now absolutely terrified. It's also possible that this could have been a trap designed to lure them out of the safety of their locked van. However, even after hours had passed, no one approached the couple, attempted a break-in, or made any kind of move toward them. But instead of bringing comfort, this only made the two even more unsettled. They were just attacked with multiple bricks, yet they had no idea who did it and why. After talking to the family from another camper van that was parked nearby, they learned that the attacker came in a car, as the other family heard tire screeches after the attack. Ellie and Graham also figured that this was a group effort, because despite the multiple bricks, there was only one collision sound. In other words, there were at least 3 suspects who threw bricks at the same time. Why would anyone attack an elderly couple out of nowhere and then leave without gaining anything from it? Maybe they just wanted to scare off campers for whatever reason. But if that were the case, why was the other van spared completely? Unfortunately, there's really no clues to help answer these questions. No faces were seen, no voices were heard, and no clear motive ever emerged, leaving the entire incident a complete mystery. And while Ellie and Graham were too scared to ever go stealth camping again after this incident, it seems by now they've since made a complete recovery and are back on the road again.
And see that one, y'all, I just truly believe whoever attacked them, and I think it's a great theory to pretty much believe that it was at least three people there, attackers there, because of they all threw the brick in unison at different parts of the window. But long story short story long, I believe they was just being some assholes. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe they was trying to break in. I don't think they was trying to attack the elderly couple or nothing like that. I just think they just wanted to just be some asshole and destroy some freaking property. Just break some windows and take off running. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story, and it's just that I'm gonna make it real long story short story long, Bean Team. And when I was I think I was like 13, 14 years old in the 8th grade. I think I was in the 8th grade. Oh, I don't even know why I started on this story, but let me tell you real quick, man. The middle school I went at, there's literally like a neighborhood right behind the middle school. And one of my homeboys who went to the school also, he stayed in a neighborhood where you literally the school is like a 2-3 minute walk away from his house. You get what I'm saying? It's literally that close. You can see it from his backyard. So one day I was over there, me and my other friends on a Saturday or whatever, and we decided to just be some assholes and do some badass shit. So we went up to the school and started throwing rocks at the windows, breaking the windows. And I'm gonna leave it at that, Big Team. Long story short, story long. And I feel like this was kinda in the same realm. Now we was younger, not saying it was right. I was like 14, I was still a child, but these probably was grown ass adults who did this. Who freaking knows? It could have been some 18-year-olds. I don't know, Bean Team. Let's go.
On the 15th of July 2022, YouTuber The Abandoned Camper uploaded a video of her stealth camping in an abandoned cemetery from the 1800s. Things started off quite normal as she found a clearing hidden in the thick foliage and began unpacking her camping gear. After setting up camp, she decided to explore the cemetery to pass the time until nightfall. And that's when things started to take a strange turn. As she was filming the gravestones, she began to hear what sounded like a bunch of kids screaming. She assumed she was alone in the cemetery. However, she could not have been more wrong. As she was going back to her camp, she saw a group of kids in the distance who likely knew about her presence.
So if you can't tell, it's pretty dark here right now, but there are kids here, like young kids in the cemetery. And I'm wondering how active this place actually is. Do people come here at night and kind of party in the forest or something? That dog kind of ruined it. Not ruined it, I shouldn't say that. The dog barking, I didn't want to disturb anybody, especially since I'm not supposed to be here. So I think I'll finish my exploring tomorrow morning. And because there seems to be still a lot of stuff here. See? I think they know I'm here. That's not good.
At this point, she was pretty certain that the kids knew about her and were just messing with her. However, she still kept her camera rolling just in case, and even made sure that she wasn't followed back to the campsite.
I'm gonna keep this recording. Just in case. But I'm also gonna stop and find out what they're doing, if they're actually watching me or not. Well, I can see them. I just don't want them to see where I'm going.
Right.
Okay. I think they're gone.
Once back at her stealth campsite, she started a small fire to cook her food. Unfortunately, this turned out to be a huge mistake. because shortly after starting the fire, she started hearing the sound of people talking and walking toward her in the forest.
There are people walking around back here. They don't have headlamps on, but like I said in my last video, I do not like being around people in the middle of a forest, especially when it's dark out. So I might pack up and get out of here.
Might pack up and get out of here. You need to pack up and get out of here. Not no might. You need. N-E-E-D.
When I think the coast is clear.
It's unclear what the kid's intentions were, and we likely won't ever know, as she made the wise decision to avoid any risk by packing up her things and quickly leaving the cemetery, making sure to remain as quiet as possible.
I'm glad she got up out of there, Bean Team. Man, listen, y'all. You learn something new every day, because I really didn't know what the freak of stealth camping was until now. And it's one of those things that I doubt I'll ever be doing. You know what I'm saying? Especially going in the freaking middle of the nowhere or the woods or whatever. And it's almost like in all these freaking encounters, all these videos that we watch, it was always somebody watching them. You get what I'm saying, man? You never know who freaking watching. Now, for that last one, y'all, I feel like that the little kids was just effing with her. You know what I'm saying? They seen her and they just was hollering and just making scary noises or just being weird and stuff, trying to freak her out. I think that's what was happening right there. And then she decided to go back to her camp, and it kind of continued, and I feel like they was gonna continue till you never know how bad it would have got. It probably would have went from just them joking and pranking to her to actually attacking her or doing God knows whatever, depending on what age they was and you know if alcohol involved. Like it could have went a lot worse, y'all. That's all I'm trying to say, man. It could have went a freaking lot worse. I don't know, Big Team. This was a great video from Chillin' Scares, man. This was a great video from freaking Chillin' Scares. I guess I'll run down the other ones real quick, Big Team, real quick. The one before that, the elderly couple who got their windows smashed in. I just feel like there was a group of people who wanted to be some assholes and destroy property more than anything. The one before that with the light flashing, the flashlight in the woods, and then the dude said hello. The thing stick out to me is just the fact, like, he didn't even have a tent. It's like he just sleeping out, just sleeping out in the woods in his freaking sleeping bag. And I don't know if he spooked them or they spooked him or they both spooked each other, but at least everybody survived that one. The one before that, the dude who was in the city, but he felt like the city was too freaking too dangerous to stealth camp in, so he decided to drive down a freaking road in the middle of freaking nowhere. That made it even worse, man. And I don't know what the freak, or he don't know either who that was or what their intentions was. That could have been one of those ones where maybe they was just trying to rob him, or maybe it was even worse. I think they probably was trying to rob him, because when he shouted, once they hit his damn window with a brick or whatever, they took off running. So maybe that's what that was. In the first one, it started off just bizarre as elf with the dude who's in the parking lot. Then the dude just randomly came up and just started trying to open his damn car handle. Like I don't know if he was trying to break in or commit another sin. Like, what was he trying to do? Then the dude was talking to him like, hey, what do you want? What you want? And he just standing there looking all crazy side to side. I don't know, Big Team. I don't freaking know. All I know is this was a good video. And I digress. I'm gonna go and let y'all go, man. I appreciate y'all coming on back as always. And before you leave, just please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and do all that if you ain't did that yet. And remember this: love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.
If you're feeling lonely today, come along and throw your cares away. We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that